This might be the last video of the 37-year-old Kenyan woman Margret Nduta, who is facing execution in Vietnam after she was convicted of smuggling drugs. Nduta was convicted and handed a death sentence last week after she was found guilty of smuggling drugs into Vietnam in July 2023. Despite ongoing diplomatic efforts, Kenyan Foreign Policy Founding Director Mwangi suggested that the government might not save Nduta. Mwangi explained that Vietnam's legal system is notoriously unforgiving when it comes to smuggling drugs, and its history suggests that external appeals rarely succeed. He stated that even though Nairobi has petitioned the Vietnamese government to stay at the execution, the chances of a favorable outcome are virtually non-existent. The foreign affairs expert argued that unlike some nations, the Southeast Asian country does not routinely consider diplomatic pressure in capital punishment cases. If the government's diplomatic efforts fail, the 37-year-old Kenyan could be executed at 8:30 p.m. on Sunday, March 16th. Initially, Vietnam authorities used firing squads to carry out executions, but the law was changed in 2011 after the passage of the law on execution on criminal judgments, and they transitioned to lethal injection. According to the law, the lethal injection method involves the administration of a lethal injection, which is a method adopted by many countries around the world as a more humane method of execution. The execution of the death penalty by lethal injection is carried out in accordance with the provisions of the Decree 82/2011 ND-CP and Decree 47/2013 ND-CP, amending and supplementing a number of articles of Decree 82/2011 ND-CP. According to advocates of human rights, Vietnam normally deploys three forms of drugs during execution: the drug that induces unconsciousness, the drug that causes paralysis on the motor system, and a drug that stops the heart function. The officer directly executing the death penalty is responsible for performing three steps before reporting to the chairman of the execution council. The officer is expected to identify the vein for injection after preparing the 3 doses. After identifying the vein, he inserts the needle connected to the drug infusion tube and injects the drug that induces unconsciousness. After administering the injection, the execution specialist must check if the convict has lost consciousness. If not, the officer in charge of the execution continues injecting until they lose consciousness. He then injects the drug and causes paralysis of the motor system. The final injection is where the drug that causes the heart to stop functioning is used. If, after 10 minutes of the third injection, the convict is not dead, the checker must report to the chairman of the execution council to order the use of the backup dose and continue the injection process for the second time. Once the forensic doctor confirms the convict is dead, the execution officer, on order of the execution council chairman, will cease the infusion and remove the needle and the tubes. From Channel 7, we are traumatized and very sorry to the family and the individual. We stand with Kenyans during these trying times.